the Vinted app to sell the clothes, shoes, and accessories she doesn't wear. And with no selling fees, every dollar is hers to keep. Vinted's magical that way.
Hey, Missy! Ready to catch a wave?
Find extra money in your closet. Download Vinted.
At grocery outlets, score big this week with weekly wins. Right now, Happy Egg Organic Grade A Medium Eggs are only $2.99 a dozen. That's an excellent deal. Extreme value, no yolk.
Water is life. Without water, we don't have anything.
David Valadeo has secured funds for infrastructure for water.
These tax cuts put money back in our pockets. Let's thank David Valadeo for voting to reduce taxes and secure our water supply.
He ran all his credit cards because he was all over the country, unfortunately committing crimes. We know from his credit card records that he was in Connecticut living with his fiancée at the time of this homicide. So we absolutely know he was not the assailant.
Next, investigators looked into Justin Barber's background.
I talked to Justin. I said, well, tell me about your marriage. We had a happy and marriage. Have you ever had an affair? No, never.
But investigators dug deeper and learned that Justin was having an affair with his tennis partner, Shannon Kennedy.
So I said, Justin, listen, here's the deal. I got Shannon in the next room. She's saying y'all are engaged in an extramarital affair. I'm going to bring her in here, and we're going to get to the bottom. He's like, no, don't do that. We are. I don't want to get her involved. So I'm thinking, well, why in the heck is this guy lying about this? I mean, your wife is dead. Don't lie to the guy that's trying to help you. I mean, who knows where that could lead.
And April's friends told police that she knew all about her husband's affair.
I mean, she told everybody to listen to her. Justin's having an affair. I know he is. I confronted him about it.
At the time, it appeared that he was only dating one other person, but it appeared that he had as many as 5 extramarital affairs during a 3-year marriage.
Police asked Justin Barber for permission to search his home, and he was happy to comply. He also made his computer available.
He had it all boxed up ready for him when the detectives came. And he said, here it is, and hands it to him.
Justin's computer went to Chris Hendry of Florida's Computer Evidence Recovery Section.
Well, I made a copy of Justin's home computer hard drive. The next thing I did was go through and look for anything that would have been deleted, such as folders and files.
One of the first things Hendry noticed was that Justin downloaded a song onto his computer just hours before his wife's death.
The lyrics are loud. They're about killing somebody.
It was a song by the group Guns N' Roses with the lyrics, I used to love her, but I had to kill her. She drove me nuts, and now I'm happier this way.
It's kind of strange this was deleted hours before we actually got the machine.
Was this merely a coincidence? After all, it was only a song. Justin Barber told police that a robber shot his wife April in the head and shot him 4 times while they were walking on the beach. He claimed he passed out, later regained consciousness, and found his wife face down in the ocean. But the forensic evidence contradicted parts of Justin's story.
She had evidence of abrasions, small abrasions on her collarbone, by her ear, and on the back of the neck that are consistent with force or pressure being placed there. Could this have been caused by forcibly being held in the water? Yes.
And on Justin's computer, forensic experts found evidence of a possible motive. Apparently, Justin had been trading stocks on the internet and he wasn't doing very well.
Yeah, was he trading? He got himself quickly into $50,000 to $60,000 in debt just on that. it didn't appear that any of his trades really paid off. He lost quite a bit of money.
To cover the losses, Justin borrowed money against his credit cards at very high interest rates.
You can't get any worse than that. I mean, you're borrowing money at 21% to pay off money that you lost in the stock market.
Justin Barber should have been a little bit brighter with his money. I mean, that was the time of low interest home equity loans.
That's really significant when you talk about somebody who's a finance major and has an MBA in business. And also to the psychological effects of a lot of consumer debt that affects people's psyche.
Also suspicious, investigators learned that April owned a $2 million life insurance policy, which she bought primarily to support her younger brother and sister in the event of her death.
We didn't have our mother, we didn't have our father, and so April felt like it was her responsibility to take care of us. And if something happened to her, and Justin knew that too, and that was a big part of the reason for those.
But Justin was the sole beneficiary, which meant he could have done anything he wanted with the money. Was this enough motive to kill his wife and then shoot himself 4 times to cover it up?
Risky, but people do a lot of crazy things for over $2 million.
Using an ultraviolet light, crime scene reconstructionist Jerry Findlay examined the shirt Justin was wearing on the night of the attack.
You could see some visible gunshot residue, or what appeared to be gunshot residue. And looking at it with the ultraviolet light, I wanted to see the extent of the pattern.
The gunshot residue could have come from Justin being in close contact with the assailant. But the angles of the bullet wounds to Justin's body were another matter. One shot went through his left hand. The other 3 shots were directed away from vital organs and bone. A remarkable coincidence.
To me, the location of it was not consistent with a murder, even somebody struggling over it. If you've already shot and killed one person and shot another one 4 times, you're not going to leave a witness.
Investigators also analyzed April's clothing and found another inconsistency. Justin claimed that he carried April's body 100 yards up to the base of the stairs after they had both been shot by the assailant.
One of the gunshot injuries that he had sustained was on his left hand. So his hand would have been bleeding quite a bit, and there should be blood all over the waistline, the waist, and the front of those pants of April Barber. And in fact, there was none.
She's bleeding from this gunshot. One, she didn't have it on her body or clothing, and he doesn't have it on his. So I think that speaks for itself.
And by the direction the blood traveled from the wound, investigators could tell April's body had not been moved after she was shot.
Blood flow on April Barber was in one direction, but it was straight down to the left from the gunshot wound. And if the body had been moved in various positions, blood flow would have changed.
And finally, there was something else that bothered investigators. Why didn't Justin use April's cell phone that was in her purse in the car?
Why wouldn't you just call on her cell phone anyway? You had to get rid of them.
Unfortunately, police couldn't find the murder weapon in the thick vegetation along the 10-mile stretch of road. But they did discover one last tantalizing piece of evidence on Justin's computer, almost more valuable than finding the murder weapon.
Water is life. Without water, we don't have anything.
Cost of living, the energy prices, gas prices, just really affecting those of us that live in this valley.
David Valadeo has secured funds for infrastructure, for water, help with no tax on tips, no tax for overtime.
These tax cuts put money back in our pockets.
David doesn't forget where he's from.
He's one of us. He's very bipartisan. He can bridge the gap.
Let's thank David Valadeo for voting to reduce taxes and secure our water supply.
Thank you, David, for being our voice.
I grew up working right here, my family's auto repair shop. Starting in middle school, getting yelled at for holding the flashlight wrong. Looking good now. Getting our neighbors back on the road. There were weeks that what we brought in wasn't enough. I'm running for Congress because it's only getting harder for families like mine. And corrupt politicians like David Valadeo are why. They enrich themselves and their donors. They hurt us. It's time for a change. I'm Randy Villegas, and I approve this message.
In California, we're paying some of the highest taxes in the country. Our taxes just funded a record high state budget, with too little to show for it. Tell your legislator, Sacramento doesn't need more of our money.
Water is life. Without water, we don't have anything.
David Valadeo has secured funds for infrastructure for water.
These tax cuts put money back in our pocket. Let's thank David Valadeo for voting to reduce taxes and secure our water supply.
Lucy loves to get away, but sometimes she needs extra cash to make it happen. That's why she uses the Vinted app to sell the clothes, shoes, and accessories she doesn't wear. And with no selling fees, every dollar is hers to keep. Vinted's magical that way.
Hey, Lucy, ready to catch a wave?
Find extra money in your closet. Download Vinted.
Thank you, Twisted.
On Justin Barber's computer, forensic experts found email evidence of his extramarital affairs and financial records proving he was deeply in debt. But that wasn't all. Forensic experts also discovered that in the weeks and months leading up to April's murder, Justin searched various websites looking for information on blood loss and gunshot wounds to the right chest.
What's the chances of somebody researching that thing very specifically, gunshot wounds to the right chest, and then 6 months later getting shot in the right chest? I just don't believe that's possible.
Prosecutors believe that when April Barber learned about her husband's infidelity and his financial problems, she wanted a divorce.
I believe April Barber had a very good idea of how bad the debt was. She told her loved ones, the marriage was failing, that she tried numerous times to try and straighten it out or fix things with Justin, but that they weren't improving.
Prosecutors also believe that Justin wanted the $2 million from April's life insurance policy. So he searched computer websites to learn how to shoot himself without inflicting serious injury. Justin believed if he drove to the hospital with gunshot wounds, everyone would believe his robbery story.
Justin Barber wanted it all. He wanted, in my belief, to show up with his bride in the SUV at the hospital as a hero, as somebody who is not only a hero, but also a victim. Collect the money, have everybody feel sorry for him, move on with his life from there.
But it didn't turn out that way.
They say when you commit a homicide, you make about 30 mistakes, and you can't remember but about 5.
The first mistake that night happened just after 5 p.m. Justin downloaded the Guns N' Roses song. I used to love her, but I had to kill her. Prosecutors believe that April told Justin over dinner that she wanted a divorce. After that, Justin enticed April to go for a walk along the beach, possibly to continue their discussion about how to end their marriage amicably. But right away, his plan fell apart. Perhaps April sensed something was amiss, or she saw the gun. Either way, there was a struggle. Justin subdued her by holding her head under the water until she lost consciousness. He then carried her towards the car. But there was no blood transfer because at that point, neither one was bleeding. He fired a single shot into April's head. The blood from her head wound was now on top of the foam produced by the near drowning. Justin then shot himself 4 times, careful not to break any bones or hit vital organs. But the excruciating pain and the daunting task of carrying April's body up the long flight of stairs required a change of plans. He had no choice but to leave April's body there. Justin got rid of the murder weapon somewhere along the highway, then tried to gather his thoughts and compose a possible explanation for the water in April's lungs. He drove for 10 miles, passing numerous homes and businesses along the way, before he asked a fellow motorist to call 911.
Justin said that he didn't want to stop at one of the houses because he did not want to wake up an old man or something to that effect.
Perhaps the oddest piece of forensic evidence was that Justin erased the Guns N' Roses song from his computer just an hour or so before turning it over to police.
And it's hard to hear that he did it. I mean, he was somebody I trusted and that I looked up to. I'm very sad. I mean, there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about my sister.
In June of 2006, Justin Barber went on trial for the first-degree murder of his wife, April. The forensic evidence was simply too much to overcome. He was convicted and sentenced to life in prison. Investigators describe it as one of the most unusual and cold-blooded cases they've ever seen.
If you take somebody like Justin Barber, who's probably a sociopath, who's probably narcissistic, he looks at everything as how it suits him. He did not want the stigma of a divorce.
You should have
There were
grabbed
no
one.
independent witnesses other than the decedent and the murder. There are only two people on the beach. So in this case, forensics made the entire case.
But the truth of the matter is, with the physical evidence we have, once we developed it, analyzed it, and had it in its final form and compared it to the story, it revealed that Justin Barber was a liar.
I grew up working right here, my family's auto repair shop. Starting in middle school, getting yelled at for holding the flashlight wrong. Looking good now. Getting our neighbors back on the road. There were weeks that what we brought in wasn't enough. I'm running for Congress because it's only getting harder for families like mine. And corrupt politicians like David Valadeo are why. They enrich themselves and their donors. They hurt us. It's time for a change. I'm Randy Villegas, and I approve this message.
I'm stressed.
Great white. Swallow you whole.
No. I mean, I'm 45. Maybe get screened for colon cancer. All that prep? Hold it out the water?
There you go.
James, eat a fucking dick.
95% of colon cancer, similar to colonoscopy.
And it ships to your home or your ship.
False positive and negative results may occur. The Cologuard Plus test is not for those at high risk.
Hey, is there a booth deck joke here? Original.
Cologuard Plus. Skip the drama.
When you get a great haircut, you know it. No one has to say a thing. You feel it, and they see it. When you get a fresh haircut from a place that knows exactly what you need, people notice. It's an experience that's hard to put into words. Sometimes you don't need any. Sport Clips. Sport your look.
Hey Roy, welcome to Total Wine and More. What can I help you find?
Well, I got my usual, and as usual, the prices here are amazing.
I love it. You want to try something new for your bar? We've got some unique bourbons, craft tequilas, vodka, gin, rum, all for the lowest prices in town. Here, try this. It just won an award.
Oh man, that's smooth. That's even more than I was hoping for.
That's why we call it Total Wine and More.
How did a killer get the security code of his victim's home and gain access to her private photographs? And how did he know the victim's whereabouts 24 hours a day? Encrypted in the stalker's letters were the answers to those questions and a whole lot more. A recent survey found that 2% of all men and 8% of all women in the United States have been stalked at some time in their lives.
Well, duh.
48-year-old Charlene Hummert never dreamt she'd be one of them. Charlene had been married for more than 20 years, had 3 children, and worked for the state of Pennsylvania as an administrative assistant.
She was a great person. She was real kind, helped out a lot of people. Really just went to church pretty much every Sunday. Just a good mom, good friend.
I remember that she was the warmest, the most selfless, most giving person that I've met in my life.
The stalking began in 2001 when Charlene's husband Brian found an envelope on the windshield of his car. Inside was a recent glamour photograph of Charlene, along with the letter.
Here's proof your wife is a slut. I had a one-nighter with your wife. She made sure my fiancé found out. Blame your wife for that. The time is now ripe for payback.
Charlene was dumbfounded. She denied having an affair with anyone and had no idea who sent it.
I told her she should go to law enforcement because it seemed like it would be a pretty serious event. He said that he had a lot of time on his hands. And I believe that this was not good for Charlene.
Police responded by putting extra surveillance on Charlene's house, but more letters came.
I was scared for her.
Yeah, thanks. I've had it
I was scared to
interesting.
go consult
I was
people
bulimic
outside,
too.
and everyone
Had
was
all
kind
them
of on
little
high
eating
alert for
disorders.
weeks and months after that.
There was very little information to follow up on at that time. They had no suspects that we could go and interview. We did process the letters and the photographs for fingerprints and did not obtain any evidence.
And I damn sure don't judge
The
people on their
stalker's
fucking
next
bodies,
letter revealed
especially
he
women.
had information about her home's security system.
If you don't treat your woman good, she's either gonna gain weight or fucking get real skinny.
I know someone's house code is 7805.
Not surprisingly, these incidents
Right
caused
along
some
the stubble,
tension
girl, shit
in
have been
Hummert's
meant to do.
marriage. And according to Brian, after one of their arguments, Charlene stormed out of the house and didn't return. Not even her children knew where she went.
I called her several times and couldn't get a hold of her. I started getting really worried.
Local police put out an all-points bulletin for Charlene's vehicle,
God damn it,
a white
fucking
Land
haircuts,
Rover.
man. No, I'm not fucking standing
The
up.
next day, police found it in a supermarket parking lot. Charlene's body was in the back under a blanket. She had been strangled to death. Charlene's family was convinced the stalker had killed her. At Charlene Hummert's autopsy, the forensic pathologist confirmed
Anxiety in your
the
stomach,
cause of
yeah,
death
don't do
was
dumb shit.
ligature strangulation.
Don't do
He
dumb
also
shit.
found evidence that the crime had
If
been
it's like
staged.
just really general anxiety,
The fact that her pants are on
avoid
backwards
what gives you anxiety,
suggests to me
or try to
that
work through it.
perhaps she was dressed after she was killed. The fact that she was wet and the fact that the car was not wet indicates to me that most likely she had been outside.
And there were
People
clues
deal
that
with their anxiety
Charlene was
way
dead
different.
before she was moved.
The mark on her sacral region.
I isolate extremely
appeared to be a
fucking
drag
bad.
mark for several reasons. Number one, there was gravel and dirt embedded into the skin. Number two, there was no evidence of any type of reaction that would indicate she was alive when this occurred.
Investigators
John,
said
I'm
the
sorry you got a
turkey
shrimp
breast
dick and you don't know how to
samples were
fucking
two
work it.
different forensic
Get the fuck out of here. Go be
labs for
miserable to somebody that gives a fuck.
Unfortunately, neither one could identify anything unique about the sample. At the crime scene, supermarket employees gave police a useful bit of information. They had seen Charlene's car in the parking lot when they arrived for work just before dawn. Investigators wondered if the killer might have gone inside the store.
The person who drove the vehicle.
Bro, if you're that miserable, you gotta be mean to a random ass stranger. You're doing horrible in life.
Anybody who would have been outside the store would have thought that was unusual.
So police checked the store's security cameras to see everyone who entered the store before dawn. And one man looked suspicious. He was wearing a dark blue parka, wool hat, and red gloves, and appeared to be hiding from the cameras. Strangely, he made only one purchase: dog biscuits.
It's not something you normally see. A person doesn't normally come in and buy only dog biscuits at 6 o'clock on a Saturday morning.
Unfortunately, the image was so grainy, it was impossible to make an identification.
I was somewhat frustrated and disappointed when we received surveillance tape that we
Get
had
on my way.
clear image of the suspect. Even more frustrated once we sent it out to laboratories for enhancement, and we still couldn't make out the facial detail that we were looking for.
So investigators sent the tape to a licensed photogrammetrist. Photogrammetry is using a two-dimensional photograph to create a three-dimensional image. And it's done with mathematics and physics.
Thank you, Smoking.
Fortunately, the security camera was in a fixed position. The grocery store provided the size of their floor tiles, and the security picture showed the suspect's feet relative to those tiles.
In this particular case,
I don't have any hobbies at the moment.
That geometry is the grid pattern of the floor, where one foot is down, the other is starting to move forward, but we have him in that position. We can then erect a vertical line right up through him, and if that vertical line
I
has
don't
a
tell people
scale
where
on
I'm
it,
from.
then we can determine his height.
They used the same security cameras to photograph a height chart in the same location as the suspect. Using mathematical calculations made possible by the floor tiles, Williamson determined the height of the suspect was 5 feet 6 inches tall.
It's written for it. And the reason they're important is because it allows us to obtain information that otherwise cannot be obtainable.
No, the fuck you wouldn't. No, the fuck you would not be.
I grew up working right here at Family's Auto Repair
Pack
Shop.
my rod.
Starting in middle school, getting yelled at for holding a flashlight on. Looking good now, getting our neighbors back on the road. There were weeks that what we brought in wasn't enough. I'm running for Congress because it's only getting harder for families like mine. And corrupt politicians like David Valadeo are why. They enrich themselves and their donors. They hurt us. It's time for a change. I'm Randy Villegas, and I approve this message.
My mornings are simple. Crack open a body armor fit. Sparkling, light caffeine, supports metabolism.
I love all kinds of food.
Because
I
fitness
like
never
food.
lasts.
I like water is life. Without water, we don't have.
How are you,
anything.
Helen?
Cost of living, the energy prices, gas prices, is really affecting those of us that live in this valley.
David Valadeo has secured funds for infrastructure, for water.
The one with
health,
3,
no
it has
tax on
smoke that
tips,
comes out and
no
it's
tax for overtime.
These tax cuts put money back in our pockets.
David doesn't forget where he's from.
He's one of us. He's very bipartisan. He can bridge the gap. Let's thank David Valadeo for voting to reduce taxes and secure our water supply.
Thank
I'm about to go get my ass back in bed. Got ready for fucking nothing, dude. I need to go get my glasses.
You didn't get the memo? The HBO inflation, get a new printer, automatic ink delivery, 24/7 support.
Everything is different now.
I'll take that.
Oops. Excuse me. Thank you, sweetheart. About to go get this ass back in bed. I don't have no Native American in me. My daughter does, so I just tan.
Police were convinced that the soil on Charlene's body would help identify the man in the pictures. Even though 2 forensic geologists couldn't find anything,
No,
investigators
I
asked
don't.
Skip Palahniuk, an internationally known forensic microscopist, to take a look.
Yes, well, he studied soil for practically 52 years now.
Palahniuk's first task was to separate the dirt from the clothing fibers, and he knew just how to do it.
God damn, you fucking scamming ass
The
motherfuckers
technique
need to
used
go
in tuning
on.
forks served 2 purposes. In this case, one, it concentrated on the soil, which was spread all over the paper in a small area. But secondly, it had the effect of entangling the fibers that came off from the pants, which there were great numbers.
After the clay was washed from the particles, Palahniuk could see he had an almost perfect specimen.
One of the most diverse suites of minerals I've encountered in my years of looking through the microscope at these things.
The particles contain carborundum and magnetite, along with traces of iron.
There were strong indications
I'm on here
that
to
someone
spread
was
awareness
working
about
with
mental illness.
machinery,
That's what I'm on here for.
grinding, torch cutting,
No, I don't want no
that sort.
fucking boyfriend,
Skip
especially
Palahniuk
from social
compared the
media. You
dirt
guys only
from
see the
Charlene's
fucking,
clothes
you
with
don't even
5
see
different soil
the real
samples,
person.
Some from Charlene's neighborhood, others from further away. Palahniuk
Social
determined
media is not
that
for
the dirt
dating.
on Charlene Hummert's
I mean, it
pants
don't work for
came
me, hell no.
from her own driveway.
When I relayed to Skip that the son did work on vehicles and do body work in the driveway of the car, he replied, well, that's very consistent with what I'm finding. He said, I got a perfect match.
Investigators now knew that the killer was 5 foot 6 inches tall, wore a dark parka with red gloves,
No, I
and
wouldn't say
dragged
you're fucked at all.
Charlene's body across her own driveway after she
Those
was
are
dead.
somewhat normal mental
This
issues.
narrowed the list of suspects considerably.
There's meds for all that.
Brian Hummert told police that the last time he saw his wife Charlene was on a Friday night.
I'm the type that I don't like
He
taking
said
psych
their 3
meds. I
children
don't.
were out with friends, and the couple got into an argument about a parenting issue.
That's good.
Brian said Charlene left the house around 10:30
Respectfully,
p.m.
literally. I don't know
and
what you're
never
saying.
returned.
Yeah, I'm on one now. I just stopped taking one a few months ago because like I gained 20 fucking pounds and
My sister,
I was slowly losing again. Well, now I'm on this new one.
With a
It's
search
making me gain
warrant,
weight and it's just
Police
fucking
looked
drives me
through
crazy.
the Hummert's home and discovered a piece of
Yeah,
red
I can't
cable
smoke weed. I get
that the
violent.
family used as a dog leash. Interestingly, the pattern of the cable looked familiar.
There was a metallic contraption at one portion of this leash that matched up very well with an abrasion that was present
weird.
in the
I know.
front of her neck.
Extremely fucking weird.
concluded that this red dog leash either caused the death of Charlie Hummert or something very similar in nature was used to bring about the death.
With this discovery, Brian Hummert changed his story.
Absolutely 100% no, he did. Absolutely did not kill his wife.
Through his lawyers, Hummert claimed that his son David killed Charlene over a dispute about a car he wanted.
Ridiculous thing that made me angry, but it was obvious that was the only thing they had was to try and catch blame somewhere else. They didn't have any evidence that he didn't do it. We found that particular allegation to be preposterous.
Investigators learned that Charlene
No, it's not a
had an
candle.
excellent relationship with her 3 children, particularly David, her oldest.
It's a light.
If you know anything about the relationship between David and his mother,
It's a light and it has smoke that comes out of it.
he was relying on her and she was relying on him.
Charlene's relationship with her husband wasn't as good.
She was not happy in the marriage, that they were arguing a lot, and that she was actually preparing to leave the marriage. Charlene had left the marriage once previously due to some allegations of abuse from Brian towards the kids.
But before investigators could go any further, they got an anonymous tip.
I received a letter addressed to me at the police station from a person claiming responsibility for
Yep,
Charlene's
I'm going to
murder.
get back in bed.
The first line of the letter stated, "I killed Charlene Hubbard, not her husband." It was signed John.
The writer claimed he killed Charlene when she tried to end their 9-month affair.
She wanted to break it off, so I broke her neck. This is the 5th woman I've killed. I'm getting good at it. Cops have no idea how easy it is to pin the husband when they only look there.
Thank you.
Investigators sent the letter, along
Thank
with
you,
the
whoever's
purported
sending
stalker
those
letters,
hard
to
things.
forensic linguist Dr. Robert Leonard, who had an unusual background. He was a founding member of the rock and roll group Sha Na Na, and says that reading their record contracts taught him a valuable lesson.
See how the contracts could seem to say one thing, but actually say something else. So that was really my first forensic linguistics gig.
When Dr. Leonard examined the stalker letters and the serial killer letter sent to the police, he noticed something odd. The writer used an uncommon rhetorical device known as ironic repetition, using the same verb in 2 consecutive sentences, but changing the context.
In the serial killer letter, it was, she wanted to break it off, so I broke her neck. There's this slight change for ironic purposes and cruel humor.
The stalker letter used the same technique.
I would have loved to have found out. She made sure my fiancé found out.
The use of this device was so rare, Dr. Leonard knew that the stalker and the serial killer were the same.
Odds against these 2 letters that are sandwiched in time, this poor woman's death, having the same rhetorical device, if it's not the most common rhetorical device in the world, was fairly good evidence of more than accidental connection.
But could forensic
All right, bye, y'all.
linguistics
Thank you.
identify the killer?